I'm a massive, I've got to be honest with you, I'm a massive Gary Joshua fan.
Me too.
I think the kid's incredible and a great bloke. But that decision against Baldwin Umdlalosi was a very tight one. How did you see it being scored?
I saw it Baldwin's way. I gave it to Baldwin, and I won't lie about it, and I won't. If I saw Gary, I'd tell him, you know, well done on the win, but I thought it was Baldwin's fight. That being said, he's only had 2 fights, and we threw him right in the deep end, and he managed to swim to the top. So the calls are the calls, and Gary Joshua won it, and I think he's spectacular.
Yeah. Well, let's stay with the scoring then. Talking about the judging, how did you score the Nico Yamji Tabani?
I gave it to Nico Yamji.
Yeah, me too.
I don't, the whole, you know, my brief before every fight with the athletes on the way, and I think you've seen it before, is I sit there and I go, guys, this is your time to shine.
Yeah.
All the preparation, 3 months that you put in, it's going to maybe last 1 minute, it's maybe going to last 15 minutes, for some of you 25 minutes. But what you don't do is you don't want to come back to me afterwards and go, oh, that was a bad decision. Don't ever do that, because you allowed it to be a decision. Yeah. Don't leave it to the referees, to the judges. Yeah. The judges see things differently, you know, and unfortunately, I think there's a big hole or gap in our judging system where you get 2 judges that know what they're talking about and one that seems to be consistently on another planet.
Yeah, some of those scores were all over the place.
So yeah. I'm disappointed with the judging. I think that the association needs to look at it and go, guys, what is going on here? We're ruining careers. Yeah. They are. I mean, you give a decision to a kid who's just starting out, or take a decision away from a guy who's just starting out. What's to say he gets back in there? You know, the mental preparation that's gone into this, the sacrifice, all for that, and then he gets robbed at the end of it? No, man, it's not on.
Leaving it too long and opportunities. How stunning was it to go back to Durban?
Oh, man, it was spectacular. What a cool... I mean, we harp on, birthplace of MMA in South Africa. It is, and you feel it. Like the fans are informed. They know their fighters. They get involved. And that environment, the Sobaya Casino environment, and I know I'm giving them a little punt on the show, but the reality is it's a very cool place. Yeah. It was an awesome venue. I don't think anybody walked away from that going, oh, I didn't enjoy myself. They had an absolutely cool time. Yeah.
So. And so close to the beaches, there's Umhlanga, there's Gateway.
And you're relaxed. As soon as you get to Durban, it takes you back. You're relaxed. You're there to have a great time. And I think people felt it. It was very cool.
All right, let's stay with beautiful places and throw forward to EFC 61. Sun City on the 8th of July, a title clash between Andrew van Zyl and Wessel Mostert. Now, the last time Andrew fought at Sun City, it was one of the greatest heavyweight fights we've ever seen against Elvis Moy. The greatest heavyweight fight I've ever seen in the EFC. Yeah. Now he's fighting Wessel Mostert. Do you expect a similar war?
There's something about shining a spotlight on 2 fighters. Yeah. In any division, doesn't make a difference whether it's heavyweight, flyweight, the women's division. You look at it and all of a sudden, guys end up going the rounds, going the distance, because they know they need to make sure that this is a fight. So I do have a sneaky suspicion that it will go past the 3rd round. For a heavyweight fight, that's massive, and especially for a guy like Wessel Mostert, who cuts from like 140 kilos. Something ridiculous. I mean, he's over 7 foot. He's a giant.
Yeah, it's huge.
So that's going to really tell on the night, because can a man that big really be consistently fit and keep the momentum going for 3 to 5 rounds? I don't know. Then again, I do think that he's got the power to get himself out of some sneaky situations that I know Andrew will try and put him in.
Yes.
Submission game. Because it's going to end up, the guys are going to run at each other, strike it out, maybe for a round and a half, and then it will end up on the floor. That's my feeling. Yeah. And how do you submit a giant?
Has Wessel Mostert ever faced a heavyweight with the ground skills of Andrew van Zyl? And has Andrew ever faced a knockout artist with the kind of power of Wessel Mostert? And has Wessel ever come up against a fantastic chin like Andrew van Zyl?
Yeah, there's a lot of question marks there. I think Wessel will test Andrew's chin, because Wessel doesn't hit like a normal human being. He's not like any other heavyweight that Andrew's ever faced. Yeah. And it's a massive step up in competition for a guy like Wessel Mostert, but he can handle it. He's an absolute beast. He is. You know, he's submitted guys, he's knocked guys out, he's young, he's dynamic. And I really would like to see, you see, that's the beauty of it. I don't care which way the fight goes.
Yeah.
I just want to see a cool fight.
Yeah.
And I want either of them to win. I don't
Yeah.
really care. It doesn't matter who wins there. It's a great heavyweight fight. It's the
It
one
is.
everybody's going to want to watch.
The EFC heavyweight division is in the rudest health it's ever been since the promotion started. The co-main event is another title fight and sees the return of the incredible judoka, Dutch Gambuli. Now he's fighting a French guy, he's a new signing, Alain Boudreau, the Black Samurai. Tell me a bit about the guy.
So this is a huge step up for us. We did it with Dorocha, but we're doing it now, and having thought about it, this is the best thing for the division. Bring in a guy who's 6-0, who's spent his entire professional career in Japan. And we know what MMA is like in Japan. It's like a national sport for them, you know. So he's managed to eke out 6 TKO victories. He's an absolute beast. He's much bigger than Champion Dolce. He's like, I think he's over 6 foot. I mean, Champion Dolce is my height. He's not that big, but he's just very physical and muscular. And this guy is coming with a lot of intention. You know, we wanted to do this fight earlier on in the year, and they asked us. They said, "Listen, can you give us time? We want to really put a proper camp in. This guy's going to dedicate everything. He's quitting his job. He's going to do this full time." So there you have it. You have a dedicated, strong, physical, well-groomed fighter against the insane beast that is Champion Dolce. I love watching him fight.
Yeah, no, he's a fantastic fighter. And in similar record as well, Alain is 6-0 and Dutch Gambuli is 6-1. So that'd be interesting to see them matched up. Also, Dina Bagatine against Bruno Merkulu. I can't wait for that. It's going to be interesting. And Tumisang Madiba against Gareth Bursky. What a great fight, Graham.
So, we're going to have to change that fight. The Tumi's come out with some with failed Say's results. So he's going to be pulled off that fight card. And then Gareth Bursky, we were going to match against Umpi Sebeko, but Gareth Bursky's broken his finger. So it's been a parody of problems with that bantamweight. So
Tumisang Madiba's flagged positive in a what for?
It's for I think it's THC or some type of
marijuana, cannabis.
Yeah, a cannabinoid.
Tumisang's positive for smoking a little something, and that puts him out of a fight, does it?
That's the
smoking a little bit is all.
That's it.
That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. It's not a performance-enhancing drug. It's a bit of all.
Look, you need to understand something is that from the South African Institute for Drug-Free Sport, although it's irrelevant what the substance is. If the substance is listed on their ban list, and I understand the parameters of people saying, "Oh no, this is but how does that improve your performance?" It's still illegal. It's still not legal for you to take. So that's the way it is.
But SAIDS is not they're not there stopping people speeding, are they? It's not their job to maintain the law of this country, is it necessarily?
As soon as you sign with any professional sporting organisation, South African Institute for Drug-Free Sport wants to ensure fair play amongst all of its competitors.
Sure. And
that's the rules you have to live by. Sorry, and guys are getting caught. We've got the whole story now with Demart Penner.
Yeah.
It happens.
I think it sucks. A guy like Tumisang Madiba is a fantastic fighter who's given so much to the sport.
Yeah.
Entertaining fighter, would have been a great fight, and he smokes a little something and he's off the card. That riles me up. Okay, moving on then. Thank you for letting us know. It's a great undercard. Bibigun Ninaba.
Yeah.
Facing Frosty, facing Regis Muyamba. What a way of coming back, because that was a tough knockout EFC 59 for the Baron. And he's straight back in the mix.
And both of them at featherweight. So they both want to drop weight to feather, Regis is definitely making a move to featherweight. He's that's where he wants to hang his hat, and so does Bibi. And he's been pushed by his camp for so long, and that's what they said after the Alain Lunga fight is, why aren't you moving to a weight division that you're actually going to be comfortable at and strong at? And I think featherweight is where he's going to be the strongest.
Was he pushing for your fight straight away after that knockout against Alain Lunga?
They were.
CIT
really or CIT was pushing me a lot to get him on the next card as soon as possible, because look, I'm a fan of that type of thinking. I know guys want to go back to the drawing board, but you spend a long time out of, the game, and it erodes, it deteriorates your perception of where you should be in the sport. Okay. And, any time outside the hexagon or outside the fighting environment isn't a good thing, in my opinion.
Well, I think it's a great way of getting straight back on the horse and getting straight into competition. A fantastic fighter. Another fascinating matchup. Warren Allison at light heavyweight against
Rule of Skippers.
Rule of Skippers, a blast from the past. He hasn't fought in EFC since EFC 33 years ago.
Yeah, he took some time off.
A lot of time off.
A lot of time off, but for good reason. I mean, he started his own business, he moved overseas, he came back. He then started his own MMA club now where he's kind of leading the pack with a whole lot of amateurs. And he said to me, I really want to get back in there. Who you got for me? And I think it'll be interesting. I looked at his record. He fought heavyweights. Yeah, he fought a whole lot of heavyweights and top champions, you know, former champions, Brendan Groenewold, all these guys. So is he, and in looking at his record, I thought, this guy's actually really talented. And Warren Allison really wants to make a go again. You know, he wants to get back in there. He wanted to fight at middleweight, and I've got a lot of light heavyweight offerings for him. Right. He's a big guy. He doesn't have to kill himself to make the weight. So I think it'll be an interesting matchup.
That's a fascinating
It's a strange matchup because I actually can't see how it's going to unfold.
Yeah. Warren's ground game, Skip his right hand.
Who knows how that's going to go?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's a cracking one. Dude, EFC 61 at Sun City in Northwest Province, 8th of July. Going to be amazing. Graeme Cartmell, cool. Really appreciate it. Time
Thank
again,
you so
buddy.
much, Simon.
Thanks,
lovely to have to be on your show again. Thank you.
Dude, always.
Cool, mate.
Well, that's your lot for this week's episode of The Clinch. Don't forget you can get hold of us through all the usual social media accounts. If there's anything whatsoever that you want to share or you want to see, please get hold of us. Join me next week for more insight, features and interviews. Thanks for watching. Be good.